just trying to work out if there's a way of me getting there. Thank you. That one comes like green. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. By map that never started by linesmen have been upstairs with this, so that's why I never wanted to start the broadcast at a specific time. Oh, we love this league. If you knew it was going to be absolutely 7:45, 48 after the next 3 minutes. It doesn't sound like it, but it's quite like big, so you might want to use for a nice $20 over the last 2 days. This one's spoiled. Yeah, Burnley manager's out.
Well, a very good evening to you and a warm welcome to the county ground in Leyland, where Burnley women are back in action this evening. The Clarets take on Liverpool Feds, looking to extend their impressive run of 8 league victories in a row, which has left them just 4 points off top spot in the title race. And they can close that gap tonight, with leaders Nottingham Forest not in action until tomorrow. Rebecca Saviuk's side have the chance to move to within 1 point of first place. My name's Matt Jones and I'll be guiding you through every kick of the action, with tonight's game getting underway in just a few minutes time, and it won't be an easy match for Burnley. Feds may have lost 4-0 at Forest at the weekend, but they had registered 4 successive victories on the road before Sunday's trip to the City Ground. That means they arrive here sitting in 6th place in the table with 23 points from their 14 fixtures so far. So without any further ado, let's go through the 2 starting lineups, and we'll begin with the Clarets. Rebecca Saviuk's side hammered Halifax 7-0 on Sunday, but they make 5 changes from that game. Jade Richards, Charlie Doherty and Claudia Walker all dropped to the bench, while there's no place in the squad at all for Rima Lord-Mears or Anna Gray. They're replaced by Grace Palmer and Laura Elford, both of whom scored from the bench at the weekend, as well as Emma Siddall, Naomi Hartley and Danielle Maxwell, who makes her first start. That means it's Lavelle in goal, Siddall, Marshall, Hartley and Wilkes across the back. Palmer, McPartland and Hazard are in midfield. Then Logan and Maxwell support Elford up top. As for the visitors, 4 changes from their trip to Nottingham Forest. Rachel Norney is back in goal, replacing Katie Doran, while there are starts for Holly Deering, ex-Burnley player Meg Boydell and Rosie Kimbig. That means Chelsea Dukes, Mia Parry and another former Claret, Courtney Willis, miss out, although Parry and Willis are both on the bench. So in full it'll be Norney in goal. You might remember her having an absolutely blinding game at Turf Moor a few seasons ago. She'll have a back 3 of Boydell, Johnson and Carrington in front of her, with Kimbig and Fletcher as the 2 wing backs. Thompson will be the holding midfielder and captain, with Deering and Francis in midfield, then Donahue and Anderson up top. As for the subs, some big options on the bench for Burnley, including new signing Louise McDaniel. She signed from Cliftonville earlier this month and is in the squad for the first time. Claudia Walker's on there as well. She scored in 4 successive league games and got a brace at the weekend, and there's further firepower with Amy Kelly and Luann Worsey. But just the 4 subs for Liverpool Feds. Katie Doran is the backup goalkeeper, and she's joined by Willis, Parry and Cole. And there is your referee for this evening. The officials will be Abby Greenwood in the middle, and Darius Bradley and Jamie Law are the 2 assistants tonight. So without any further ado, all the formalities have been gone through and we are about to get underway. Burnley in their claret and blue kit, and Liverpool Feds, whatever colour I say that is, I think I'll get criticised for. It's a bluey green, we'll go with that. But they are in their change away strip this evening. And it will be Burnley to kick things off as Grace Palmer gets tonight's game underway. And Burnley look to continue their fine recent form, and immediately there's going to be a chance for Maxwell to get into the boxes. The good reverse pass to Siddall, who looks to pull it back towards the edge of the area, but unfortunately for her, nobody there on that occasion. But there might be a chance here because Hazard tries to poke it towards Siddall, and then Maxwell slipping as she made contact there and firing that one out of play. Maxwell's had a bright start to her Burnley career. She scored, of course, in that win over Derby 10 or 11 days ago. That game played at Mickleover. She came off the bench in that match, and she was off the bench on Sunday in the 7-0 demolition of Halifax as well. So hopefully that bright start can continue. Here's Norney lining up the goal kick, which Elford will head down, but it is brought down by Boydell. Back into defence it goes with Carrington, young Welsh youth international, who's impressed since arriving here in the summer. She's playing on the right of that back three, which has actually got Kinvig right at the heart of it. It could have been Kinvig lining up as a left wing back, but she's playing as the centre of the three at the back. Elford chests it down and thumps it out towards Maxwell, who might now get it on the second attempt. She does. Siddall's going on the overlap, and that'll rattle off a defender and be a Burnley throw. Partland wearing the captain's armband tonight after Richards, the club captain, wore it for the first half at Halifax on Sunday. A chance now for Burnley to launch the ball into the box. Looks like Grace Palmer will be on set piece duties. Of course, plenty of options within the side. Tilly Wilkes, we know the danger she possesses from a dead ball. It'll be Grace Palmer on this occasion to launch it into the middle from deep. 6 options on the edge of the area. In it goes and is chested clear, but only as far as Maxwell, and now Elford will pick it up. Elford now on 22 goals for the season from just 21 appearances. It's been quite the campaign for her. She remains the club's top scorer in the league with 9. Although Claudia Walker has been doing her best to close that gap by scoring 5 in her last 4 league appearances. Hasn't quite settled this game yet, has it? 3.5 minutes in. Neither team has really been able to exert some control, although Burnley have certainly had much more of the ball than their opponents. And here's a chance now for McPartland to burst forward. She finds Elford, spread well to Maxwell. Siddall's going on the overlap, but Maxwell's spinning it into the middle. It's going to fall for Wilkes, who strikes it back to Elford, and it's going to fall for Siddall now, is it? Didn't quite land as she would want, and then poke goalwards. Norney's able to come off a line and claim. Didn't play at the weekend, Rachel Norney. It was a touch of a surprise when I was looking through the team sheet for Liverpool Feds in their game at Nottingham Forest. She is a Northern Ireland international who's in her 2nd season with the club, arrived initially in Liverpool for university, but has really impressed in goal. As I mentioned earlier, you might remember nearly 2 seasons ago now the blinding performance she put in at Turf Moor, making numerous saves as Burnley just about managed to scrape to a 2-1 win that day, having to come from behind to do so. Ball over the top towards Olivia Francis, but she's offside. Lavelle, I think, quite fancied taking that from the edge of her 18-yard box, but told to bring it 20 yards forward. Wilkes to McPartland, now Hartley restored to the starting 11 today. Lavelle back out to Wilkes. Logan was never going to be able to keep that one in. Here's Kimvig back to Norney. Pressed by Elford, so has to go long, and that forces the mistake because Siddall can nip in and get there ahead of Anderson. Burnley giving the ball away though, and a chance for Francis to burst forward, but Georgia Marshall shows a terrific turn of pace there and times that tackle perfectly. She'll have to be aware to the danger that's posed now though. Here's Donahue. Back it goes to Fletcher. Her pass is a loose one. Donahue again. Referee happy to allow play to continue. Can't squeeze that pass to Thompson though, the experienced Chantel Thompson. Play on, says the referee after that collision involving Palmer. McPartland can now drive through midfield in that whole left in midfield. Not to Maxwell. Has to get her skates on to keep it in, but does well. That's come off her last though. It will be a goal kick. Just having a glance back towards the centre circle, and Grace Palmer doesn't look particularly comfortable after that collision. I think it was a coming together with Meg Boydell, who seems to be moving somewhat freer after that incident. Ped's just trying to keep hold of possession. Back to Johnson, another experienced player in their ranks. Kimvig sends it long. Hartley marshalling Francis off the ball there. Now a chance for Siddall to cross the halfway line. She's being closed down by Donahue. It's a good ball out to Maxwell. Maxwell with the low cross into the middle, took a little deflection and that took the sting out of it. Marshall will turn. There's a bit of a worry for Laura Elford here, the Burnley striker. She was just down on her haunches in the penalty area after that cross was cleared. Just keeping an eye on her as she moves back towards the centre circle. But that would be a worry for Burnley if their top scorer has got anything long lasting. Seems to be moving free enough towards the left hand side of your picture there though. Emily Deering, good turn from her, offloading to Fletcher. Siddall making the tackle to stop Fletcher from progressing. Dangerous player, Nellie Fletcher, former Liverpool and Blackburn player who represented England at youth level as well. 6 assists and 3 goals for her in the league this season. And it is Fletcher that takes that throw, but Siddall is there to clear. Johnson wins it ahead of Elford and then gets to the second ball ahead of Hazard as well. But the reasonably scrappy nature of this game continues as that long ball goes straight through to Lavelle in goal. Lavelle. Maxwell might have got a leg on that, may have been Johnson, but either way it fell to Elford, who tries to spread it to Heidi Logan on that far side, but balloons off her left shin. Logan hasn't been able to get involved in the game in these opening 10.5 minutes. By this stage on Sunday she'd already opened the scoring for Burnley. Hartley goes back to Lavelle, and Cooley carries that past Donoghue. Partlam trying to find that ball over the top to Maxwell. A big tackle from Palmer on Johnson. Siddall will now try and keep that in. She's not taking any chances as to the identity of who that came off last, and does well to find Marshall. Marshall just rushed there by Donoghue. Fletcher now does get past Siddall, but a slightly heavy touch from her point of view, and that goes out of play. And it's going to be a goal kick. I think Donoghue is suggesting that should have been either a corner or a free kick. But the concern here is that Grace Palmer is down injured now for Burnley, and this is the second time she's just looked a little discomforted. Remember, had that collision 5 or so minutes ago. So while she's down, let me just run you through what else is happening in the division tonight, because it is a pretty much full round of fixtures, apart from Nottingham Forest, who don't actually play until tomorrow. Forest against Rugby Borough will be a really intriguing fixture, and it's also Hull Halifax tomorrow. But as for today, we've got a number of important games. And there's been a goal in one of them as well. Stoke lead Derby 1-0, Stourbridge 0, West Brom 0, and Wolves 0, Sporting Calza 0 are the other games this evening. Partland does well to win the ball back and pokes the pass to Hazard. Marshall. Elford tried that round the corner ball to Maxwell, but could only find Johnson. Here's Johnson again. Burnley pressing high here, the three forwards really not giving Liverpool Feds much space or time at all. And that forces Norney to go long to Olivia Francis, who is brought down illegally so by Naomi Hartley. So Liverpool Feds, the first chance they've had to launch the ball into the box from a dead ball. And they've sent plenty of players forward, haven't they, for this delivery into the middle. 7 of them lined up around the edge of the area. Burnley maintaining a high line outside their box. In it goes towards the penalty spot, and it's flicked on by McPartland. Eventually thumped clear by Siddall. Falls to Fletcher. Back in towards the edge of the box and headed forward as well. There's a decent header, decent knockdown by Thompson, but none of her teammates had read it. That means Lavelle could claim, and she can bowl Burnley on the attack quickly. Palmer now. She's got plenty of options to this right hand side. Siddall is one of them. Maxwell trying to go around Fletcher. Back to Siddall, and Donoghue will nip in and get that ahead of McPartland. Isidore brings it down. Back from Carrington to Norney with a long, emphatic clearance. Hartley just flicking that back to Lavelle in goal. Isidore just on her haunches a little bit there, but she gets tripped. Fletcher trying to get in there and nip the ball away from her. Just looks in a little bit of discomfort as well, doesn't she, Emma Siddall? Back in the starting lineup tonight, having been on the bench on Sunday. She was just on her heels a little bit, and that gave Fletcher the chance to nip in, but Fletcher quite clearly stands on her ankle. Thankfully she's now up and moving okay. And Georgia Marshall can get things back underway. Lavelle's ball out to the right hand side. It's cut out by Katie Anderson, but only win it back quickly. Here's Anderson again though. Palmer. Elford. Fletcher tenaciously getting back, but Burnley pressing high again, and if they can get this right under control, they've got numbers forward. McPartland. Palmer. Back to McPartland. Liverpool Feds have done well to get numbers back in and force Burnley back to the halfway line. Palmer again, sprayed out to that left hand side, but Heidi Logan unable to keep it in play. And Logan this time is the person who puts it out of play. This time it's a Burnley throw then. Wilkes. Hazard comes off Anderson last, so well, she thought about taking the throw. Instead it's going to be taken by Tilly Wilkes. Elford comes deep to collect that throw. He's got too many options of who to pass to here, and in the end Anderson dangles a leg out there, knocks it out of play, and Elford will now take or receive the free throw in on the second occasion before it's put out of play by McPartland. Haven't quite got going yet, Burnley. They're in absolutely blinding form in the league. Haven't dropped a point of any kind since a draw with Nottingham Forest way back in September. Since then, 8 league victories in a row, including 3 over the last couple of weeks in which they've scored 20 and not conceded a single goal, Burnley. And I'll be hoping that that continues tonight. Certainly the amount of goals they've been scoring has done wonders for the goal difference. Now only Nottingham Forest with a better goal difference than Burnley in the division. Burnley have overtaken Wolves. Boydell with a clever pass out to that right hand side. Anderson whips it across to Thompson, wearing the captain's armband. Johnson forward to Fletcher. Donohue's chasing that, and that means Marshall has to put it out of play. And Fletcher wastes absolutely no time in taking the throw, and she'll receive possession back now. First time ball into the middle. Wilkes is well positioned to clear it, and it's a lovely clearance as well, a cushioned one to Maxwell, who can now drive forward. Unable though to pick out a Burnley teammate. He has been the driving force down that right wing so far for Burnley. It's where most of their attacks have come from. Making her first start tonight, Danielle Maxwell. Here's Heidi Logan on the left. She's got space to move into here. Tried to thread that through to Elford, but Johnson was waiting. Well, we're going to have a change here. Grace Palmer unable to continue. That knock she obviously picked up earlier means she cannot continue. Luann Worsey will be the replacement for her. Worsey made her debut in the game against Halifax at the weekend. She grabbed herself an assist, and she comes on to replace Grace Palmer. It's an enforced change for Burnley, but after that we're back underway, and Worsey gets a touch within seconds of coming on the field. On loan with the Clarets from Birmingham. I'm sure she'll have an impact tonight. Here's Worsey again, wearing 36. Back to Lavelle, who's gesticulating that she wants her teammates to go further forward. Spread to Siddall, who's pressed by Fletcher. Johnson can nip in and take the loose ball before lunging in and leaving a leg on Siddall there. And there might be further ramifications here for Emma Johnson. Indeed, she is going to be booked. Justifiably so. Chantel Thompson, the Liverpool Feds captain, is suggesting it should have just been a free kick, but there's definitely a trailing leg left there by Emma Johnson. Discipline has been a slight issue for Liverpool Feds this year. Only 3 teams out of the 12 in the division have picked up more yellow cards than them. Another one now added to the tally as Fletcher gets to that ball first, but she can only loop it back into Lavelle in goal. Worsey. Siddall unable to keep that in play. So Ellie Fletcher takes the quick throw to Johnson. Fletcher down the line, and she profits from that, coming back to her off Donahue. Siddall though is not letting her past. Receives a fortuitous ricochet and then whipped into the ball, so that's a decent delivery, but headed clear by Hartley. And now Worsey can break, and that's a lovely pass to Maxwell, and for the first time in a few minutes Burnley have the goal in their sights. Maxwell hits the first defender, but it's going to fall for Laura Elford, and she slides Burnley ahead. Double figures in the league for Laura Elford this season, and Burnley are ahead with what is their first real chance of the game. You cannot afford her that kind of space in the penalty area, but it all comes from this delightful pass from Luann Worsey, showing her quality immediately after coming off the bench. Maxwell's initial ball, it did hit the first defender. I think that's Kimvig in there, but it balloons up, and once it's put back in by Hazard, Elford was always going to find the target. She prodded it in a composed manner into that far corner. And Burnley, midway through this first half, have taken the lead. So that's just what Burnley needed. Liverpool Feds, though, will not lie down. Burnley on the attack here again as Logan tries to go around Carrington but can't do so. Some of you might remember the game at Jericho Lane earlier this season, played in September. It was an absolute cracker from a Burnley point of view. It was a game which they led 1-0 at half-time, courtesy of Georgia Marshall's goal. Thompson levelled just after the break, and then it looked like a bit of a disaster for Burnley when Naomi Hartley got sent off late on, only for Brenna McPartland to step up in injury time to grab a winner, and Burnley have been unbeaten in the league ever since then. It's been quite the run. All started at Jericho Lane that day, and by the looks of things so far, it's going to continue. Because Laura Elford has got her 23rd goal of the campaign, closing in on half a century now for Burnley, and getting there in double quick time. So that throw's gone straight out of play for Wilkes to take. Worsey, Hazard, back to Marshall. Doesn't get many goals, Georgia Marshall, but she did get one, as I say, against Feds earlier this season. Hartley, Lavelle, back to Hartley. Elford uses her body well to get round Kinvig, and look at the run that Logan's making here. She hasn't been spotted. Here's Worsey though. Hazard, slightly heavy touch means that runs away from her, much to the displeasure of Maxwell, who was screaming for it down the Burnley right. And now it's Liverpool Feds who are back on the attack. Thompson, Anderson, Deering, to Johnson, who pokes that forward but pokes it out of play. And Burnley now with that lead, not in as much of a hurry to get the play back underway, and understandably so. Siddall does eventually take the throw. To Marshall she goes. Lavelle, who is seeking a fifth successive clean sheet in the league. Burnley are just about to pass 400 minutes without conceding a goal. That goal they conceded was in a 3-1 win over Sporting Calza back in November. Since then, the clean sheets have come against Hull, Stourbridge, Derby and Halifax. Logan did well to come away from that battle by staying strong, but couldn't thread the pass as she wanted. And now a chance perhaps for Feds to get forward. Here's Boydell. Showed a bit too much of that to Maxwell, but was lucky enough to get the ricochet back to her. And now it has been presented to Maxwell by Fletcher, and Maxwell can drive into the area. Just forced wide by Johnson. Siddall. Receives it back from Worsey. Hazard back to McPartland. Now Worsey again. And Burnley just keeping hold of the ball here as we approach the half-hour mark. Lavelle trying to find Logan, Carrington allowed it to bounce, and that nearly gave Logan the chance to get in there. Instead it goes out for a throw. Pushing the back there by Hartley was there. No, referee allows play to continue. McPartland finds Elford. Elford can turn, and that's a nice ball towards Maxwell. Danielle Maxwell. Norney makes the save, but following up is Heidi Logan for her third in 2 games. And Heidi Logan continues Burnley's fine goal scoring form. It's a brilliant ball into the box. Maxwell unlucky that Norney makes the terrific save, but all good teams have a forward following up, and Burnley had just that, with Logan on hand to score. But just look at the turn and pass here, threaded through to Maxwell. Norney does well, but Logan had followed all the way in and thumps it home. And Burnley now, in the space of 6 minutes, have scored 2. And that is an emphatic finish, isn't it? So a mountain to climb now for Liverpool Feds. Remember, they lost 4-0 at the weekend as well to Nottingham Forest, the league leaders, so it's been a particularly tough couple of fixtures for them. Burnley could potentially go second tonight, depending on the result for Wolves. Wolves are currently level with Sporting Calcer at 0-0, so if it stays that way, Burnley will indeed move into second place in the league. Hartley, Marshall, Wilkes receives the shout to tell her that Anderson was prowling behind and did well enough to relieve herself of possession quickly, but that's a loose ball infield by Logan. Thankfully Burnley retrieved possession quickly. Lavelle has it now. Worsey closed by Thompson. Marshall to Maxwell, who nearly spun on a postage stamp there, but was closed down by Fletcher and went back instead to Siddall. McPartland now with a wonderful whip ball out to Logan, who brings it down with a brilliant first touch as well. Carrington though stepping in to prevent Wilkes from getting into the middle. Wilkes will take the throw. Back she goes to Hartley. Hazard shouts for offside where there was nothing doing from the officials. Logan now. Wilkes has gone on the overlap. And here is Wilkes prodding it back to Worsey. Marshall finds Siddall, who turns neatly away from Olivia Francis, one of 2 players at Liverpool Feds on a dual registration from Manchester United. Holly Deering is the other. Both of them teenagers. Elford trying to turn away from Carrington. The ball over the top for Logan to chase onto. Norney will allow that to run into her area. Norney will eventually thump that forward. Come off McPartland last. Burnley back in action here on Sunday for another huge game in their quest for promotion. Stoke will be the visitors. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff, so please do come and join us here if you can. If not, then of course we will provide full coverage for you through the usual streaming places, so you will not miss a kick as Burnley chase down Nottingham Forest, down Wolves in the Women's National League Northern Premier. Kimvig goes infield to Carrington. Hartland cuts out the ball forward, and that's going to fall for Elford, who finds Maxwell. Slightly heavy touch. It was a difficult one for her to control. Wilkes just being ordered back down the touchline before she's allowed to take this throw. Eventually it goes towards Laura Elford, who flicks it up for Hazard to chase onto. Carrington's there to make the interception though. Hazard now receives it back and turns away from Boydell. She wants a free kick and the referee obliges. Hint of obstruction there, which prevented Hazard from moving any further forward. And this will give Burnley another opportunity to swing the ball in from deep, but to throw some of their taller presences forward. Elford, McPartland, Hartley, I'm sure will be the targets here. Worsey's made a run off the ball and it goes in deep towards Marshall. It's going to fall for Hazard, is it? Not quite. Fletcher's able to scramble clear, but back to Wilkes it comes. Look forward towards Worsey, and that's a high foot from Luann Worsey there. And she could be in a little bit of trouble here. There was no malice in the incident at all. She was watching the ball all the way, but the high foot does result in a yellow card for Luann Worsey. Thankfully, no lasting damage for Rosie Kimvig, because that could have been nasty. And she's back in the action, and Burnley are pressing high again as that is spread to Fletcher. Nice first touch to open her body and the field up, and Ellie Fletcher can drive forward here. Into the middle it goes, but Siddall nods it out of play for a corner. Her first corner of the evening for Liverpool Feds. It's been a little bit of a sticky run for them. Only 3 wins in their last 8 league games. They've lost 4 of them and drawn 1. And at the moment they might be heading towards another defeat as well. Just waiting for the ball to be retrieved from behind the goal. The steward has obliged. And now Meg Boydell will get the chance to send this in. You can see plenty of options in the middle for the visitors. In it goes towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but Marshall gets a head on it. Out to Anderson it goes. Anderson trying to whip it back in, but is closed down by Maxwell. Burnley pressing high again. Elford forces Johnson into a clearance that she didn't want to make. Now Wilkes can carry it forward. Just holds onto the ball and goes back to McPartland. Composed play there by the Burnley fullback. Logan now. Hartley will find Siddall. Hazard. Siddall again. Partland goes back to Marshall. Hartley. Hazard misses her kick, and that means it's cleared away from Elford. But Burnley just doing well to maintain possession there. Down the line for Maxwell to chase onto, and this is a real foot race here with Fletcher, who's done really well to guide that hand of play. Burnley have had a really good opening 42 minutes here, and they'll look to add to their score before half time. It's around this time that they got their third at Halifax, as Worsley goes through the legs of Thompson. Low flat pass to Maxwell. To McPartland. Maxwell again. That's a good ball towards Elford, who can knock it down to Siddall. Siddall, first time, looped up towards Logan, and Elford climbs highest, but can't quite climb high enough to direct that goalwards. Lovely move though by Burnley. And one very much worth having another look at because of the manner in which Siddall thumps that first time ball in. Elford, you can see, beating her teammate Logan to the ball, the two goal scorers tonight. Sadly not having the accuracy on the finish there that she did with her goal. Maxwell can't squeeze that through. Donahue making the interception. But Burnley, as they so often do, tenaciously winning the ball back quickly, and here is Hazard, and a heavy touch off her left toe carries that out of play. Norney with the ball forward, Thompson with the flick on. Siddall was well placed to get there ahead of Francis. And Burnley now quickly trying to turn defence into attack as Hartley spreads it over to Logan. Worsley does really well there. Logan again, she's got Kinvig in front of her. Try and go around Kinvig, and in the end a fizzing cross goes straight out of play. There were a few bemused looks there to suggest it may have flicked off Kinvig's leg. Decent work from Logan, but not quite the accuracy that she wanted again. Elford with a towering header, and she's taken one in the chest there, Laura Elford. Doesn't look comfortable at all here. She's gone down really nastily. Burnley top scorer. Just wait and see if the physio is going to be waved on. Almost gets kind of clothesline there, doesn't she? caught between the two of them. Well, the linesman has just called the referee over here, and I'm wondering what he's suggesting. Has the referee given a free kick, or is it just a drop ball? Because the initial suggestion was just a free kick. No, it's just a drop ball, sorry. No, it is going to be a free kick. And it is going to be Tilly Wilkes to take in the dying embers of this opening 45 minutes. In fact, they have elapsed, so we are into added time. Wilkes will send it into the middle, over the head of Worsley, and nodded clear. Elford moving okay after that incident, spreads it back to Wilkes with a lovely first time ball. Back to Siddall. Curled around to Heidi Logan. Lavelle. Logan. Logan again. Here's Worsley driving through midfield and attempting to thread a pass through towards one of Maxwell or Hazard, but she found the defence in the way, and this is a chance now for Anderson to burst forward, and she finds the pass towards Francis, but that's rolled all the way through to Lavelle in goal. The referee's just had a quick check of her watch, so she's obviously happy that there's still some time left in this first half. Worsley goes back to Siddall. McPartland turns. Back to Hartley. Round the corner from Hazard, but cut out by Kinvig. And then running out of space on that far side, I think was Boydell. Indeed it was. Alpha plays it back to Marshall. McPartland closed by Thompson, but turns away from her. Into a 4th minute of added time we go. Like I said, I don't remember being that many stoppages in this opening 45 minutes or so, but we continue to play on. And in fact, there goes the half-time whistle. So it is Burnley who are in the ascendancy as the two teams head to the dressing room, and they'll be delighted with the position that they find themselves in, because Liverpool Feds have made it tough, but they were able to find a breakthrough with Laura Elford getting her 10th league goal of the season in the 25th minute, and then Heidi Logan, 3 in 2 matches for her after she followed up Maxwell's saved effort to thump into an empty net just after the half-hour mark. So we'll be back with full coverage of the second half from Leyland very shortly, but at the break I'll leave you with the highlights of the opening 45 minutes. It's Burnley women 2, Liverpool Feds 0.
I did a technical day over the weekend. I was in
all the best jobs.
Well, welcome back to our coverage from Leyland and the county ground, where Burnley women are taking on Liverpool Feds this evening. A 2-0 lead at half-time for the hosts, which is hopefully a lead that is going to be extended as this match wears on. But Laura Elford giving the Clarets the lead, and then doubling their advantage through Heidi Logan on the half-hour mark. And that's where we stand right now as we prepare to see the second half get underway. Rebecca Seviuk there and her coaching staff. She's just passed 50 games as Clarets manager, which is a wonderful achievement for her. Hopefully there's many more to come, given the success that Burnley are having at the moment. It's a great interview with her on our Twitter feed this week, talking about how proud she is to have reached that half-a-century mark. And Laura Elford's not far behind in terms of half-a-century of goals. We reckon that's her 45th strike for Burnley, the one she grabbed in the first half. Maybe there'll be more to come in this second 45 minutes. Certainly the way she's going at the moment, you would expect her to reach that half-a-century before the season is out. So we are just going through the final checks and formalities before this second half gets underway. As things stand, Burnley are heading second in the table because Wolves are currently being held to a 0-0 draw by Sporting Calcer. Nottingham Forest don't play till tomorrow, so Burnley will be 1 point off top spot if results stay as they are. So Bethany Donoghue is going to get this second half underway for Liverpool Feds. Final check from our referee, and she blows the whistle to allow this game to get back underway. And in a moment or two I'll run you through the two teams as they are now, because of course there was a change in the first half for Burnley, but there's a chance now for Feds to get into the box, and that's pulled back to Donoghue. And for the first time tonight, Kirsty Lavelle has a save to make in goal, but a fairly comfortable one at that. She'll be happy if that's as stretched as she is over the remainder of this game. So as Elford passes that out of play, let me remind you of the two teams. Burnley are lining up with Lavelle in goal. They've got a back four of Siddall, Hartley, Marshall and Wilkes. There was a change in midfield in the first half. Grace Palmer coming off injured. She was replaced by Luann Worsey, who has Hazard and McPartland in midfield for company, and then Elford starting up front today has got Maxwell on one side and Logan down the other. Cross comes into the near post, and that's a dangerous one, and Wilkes on the second attempt clears it away from Fletcher in there. And now Maxwell has space and time on the far side, and that'll give me a moment to run through the Liverpool Feds lineup as well. They've got Norney in goal. Kimbig, Carrington and Johnson are their back three, with Fletcher and Anderson the two wingers. Thompson, Deering and Boydell are the three central midfielders, and then Donoghue and Francis are playing up front. No changes made as of yet by the visitors this evening. Donoghue prodding that back to Fletcher, who turns neatly away from Maxwell and sends the pass, but Marshall's well positioned to cut it out. Lavelle steps away from Donoghue, and now Burnley have space to move into, and Georgia Marshall's found herself in an unfamiliar territory on the right wing. Low ball down the line for Maxwell, and that threatened to stay in off the corner flag, but eventually rolls out for a Liverpool Feds throw. And that ball will go straight out of play for a Burnley throw now, midway through the Liverpool Feds half of the field. There is Georgia Marshall, recently passed 50 first team appearances for Burnley. What an important figure she's been at the heart of the defence since she arrived at the club. Elford brings it down and will find Siddall, who is being harried back into her own half of the field, and in fact she's given possession away. Francis Donoghue goes to ground under the tackle from Hartley, and I wonder if there'll be further ramifications here for Naomi Hartley as well. Straightforward free kick for the officials to give. Looks like Naomi Hartley is only going to be punished by way of a free kick. Remember, she was sent off in the return fixture. That foul, which was denying a clear goal scoring opportunity and therefore resulted in a straight red. On this occasion she will be, for the time being at least, avoiding going into the book. It will though be a Liverpool Feds free kick in a dangerous position. They've put 8 forward here on the edge of the area, and in fact they're going to go for goal. And Boydell, the former Burnley player, whipping that one harmlessly wide of Kirsty Lavelle's right hand post. So Lavelle takes that short to Marshall. Siddall sliding it to Maxwell. Maxwell closed down pretty quickly by Fletcher. And Logan's chasing that down. Just caused a little bit of panic for a moment for Norney. Here's Tilly Wilkes now. We know that craft and guile she's got with that left foot. Just a pass to Logan on this occasion. Now McPartland. Spread to Maxwell. Maxwell, early ball into the middle. And it is cleared away for a Burnley throw. And that throw will be taken by Emma Siddall in a moment. Worsley brings it down. Just presents the opportunity to Boydell to nip in and prod it back out. But another throw for Siddall to take. Good turn by Maxwell. Maxwell with the low ball into the middle, and it's not been dealt with. Here's Logan again, and Heidi Logan makes it back-to-back braces. An emphatic finish to give the Clarets a 3-0 lead. 4 days ago she hadn't scored a league goal for Burnley. Now she's got 4.
Burnley 7, Burnley 7.
It's just not dealt with, is it? The early cross into the box by Maxwell. That one, the touch at the near post, I think it's from Carrington, deflected away from Hazard. But it doesn't matter because Logan is there. And Logan smashes it home. And for the second week running, she's on a hat-trick. On Sunday, of course, she missed a huge chance to get that third goal. There was an interview with her on our social media channels where she was talking about that miss. I'm sure she won't make the same mistake if the opportunity presents itself to her tonight. Here's Thompson driving through midfield for Liverpool Feds. Sliding a low pass, and it's a good one to Deering. Deering couldn't really get a telling contact on that as it dribbles through to Kirsty Lavelle. Just the start to this second half though that Burnley wanted. Just wards off any potential momentum swinging goal from Liverpool Feds. And it is now over their last 3.5 league matches, or the 3.5 league matches that they've played this year. 23 goals now, Burnley, and 0 conceded. Right, we're going to see a change. The first one from a Liverpool Feds point of view. They're bringing on Mia Parry. And Parry will enter the fray with Seren Carrington, the Welsh youth international, withdrawn. So suggest that might mean a slight tweak in the formation for the visitors, because Parry certainly is more of a driving midfielder than she is a centre half. Now the free kick gets taken into the middle, and there's a header on it from McPartland. Burnley still haven't got it under control though. Here's Parry with her first touch, looped back forward. Hazard can bring it down. Deering pressing her, and eventually Siddall is forced into basically prodding it out of play. Still no goal, by the way, in that Wolves against Sporting Calcer game. That remains 0-0. Stoke City are 3-1 up against Derby Women, and it's Starbridge 1, West Brom 2. Stoke, of course, the visitors here on Sunday. 2 o'clock kick-off for that one. We will be with it for every kick of the game. We'd love you to join us down here as well to cheer on the team as they continue this push for promotion to the Championship, which is going well tonight. Although Liverpool Feds are still tenaciously pushing forward. In the end, just running out of space there was Fletcher. Looks like Liverpool Feds have gone to a back 4 now. Chantal Thompson has slotted straight in the heart of that back 4 from central midfield, allowing Parry the chance to push further forward, and then Johnson is her accompanying centre half, with Fletcher playing as left back. So it has been a change in formation from Liverpool Feds, with that substitution of Parry coming on. Here's Logan. We know she's got a real turn of pace, but Nornie's off her line and well positioned to claim it. That's not the best of balls, and Maxwell brings it down brilliantly. Danielle Maxwell will go for it from distance and hits the stanchion and bobbles away. I wonder if she could have just carried that forward a little bit more there. Danielle Maxwell snatched at it a touch in the end, but it was a lovely first touch to bring it down in the first place. She has had a big impact though since arriving. This is her 3rd appearance. Assists and plenty of other positive impacts. You can see here, just dragging that wide. Hartley. Elford. Back out to Tilly Wilkes. Wilkes down the line. Worsey and Kimvig both missed it. Anderson poking that down the line. Now Donahue. That's a heavy touch from Donahue. And Logan will pick up the loose ball. Receives it back from Marshall, but not quite able to get it under control. And a chance now. Donahue is free in the middle if she can be released by Liverpool Feds. Boydell. Parry making the run around her, and here is Parry. Kimvig making the move down the right wing, but Tilly Wilkes is well placed to intercept that pass. Hartley. Fletcher nipping in to get that ahead of Logan and striking goalwards, and it hits Siddall. Could have gone anywhere. Francis brings it down. Johnson now. Elford making the interception. So Burnley 3, Liverpool Feds 0 as we approach the hour mark. All going smoothly so far for the Clarets. Marshall, Siddall, back to Kirsty Lavelle, and that is hammered long and out of play on the far side. Approaching another hour ticked off without conceding for Burnley. Well over 4.5 league games now since they were last breached at the back. They do have the second best defence in the division, just the 6 goals conceded in the league so far this season. Burnley, only Nottingham Forest can better that. as the referee belatedly gives a free kick to Danielle Maxwell. And she's just going to give a bit of a talking to Mia Parry here as well. Parry, the substitute, does not look remotely pleased with that free kick being given. And now Chantal Thompson, the captain, is having a talking to from the referee as well. Siddle gets us back underway by playing it back to Kirsty Lavelle in goal. Naomi Hartley. Her pass is intercepted by Anderson. Anderson clipping it towards the run of Deering, but McPartland was there to cover. The Burnley bench there, who'll be delighted with how things have gone in this opening 61 minutes. As the offside flag goes up, you could see a substitution potentially being readied down there. Plenty of options on the bench for Burnley, including the likes of Claudia Walker, who scored in 4 successive league games. Amy Kelly restored to the squad tonight as well. Heavy touch from Elford and a nice ball round the corner by Donoghue to Deering, but McPartland is tracking her every step of the way, so the pass goes back to Parry. Johnson, booked in the first half, remember Emma Johnson, sending a ball in from deep, which, well, Anderson and Donoghue both tried to get on the end of, but were unable to. And that means Tilly Wilkes has got a throw to take here. Kinvig and Logan challenging for it. It comes off the Burnley player last. Parry. Kinvig off the ankle of Logan for another Liverpool Feds throw. They're just trying to build up some momentum here, aren't they, Liverpool Feds? They're trying to find a way back into this game. And they might have a corner here as Hartley flicks that up, and then Francis goes to ground, and it will be a goal kick in the end. Francis dribbling that out of play herself. And we're going to see a couple of subs now for Burnley. Claudia Walker is going to be introduced, and it will be Laura Elford who will be withdrawn. Elford, who scored the opener for Burnley, got the ball rolling this evening. She's been rotating with Claudia Walker for the last few weeks, really, in terms of when one has started, the other has come on for the person who started. Tonight Elford getting the nod, and she rewarded Rebecca Seviuk with her 23rd goal of the season, reaching double figures for the league in the process, which shows you just how brilliant she's been in the cups as well, Laura Elford. 13 cup goals. Not a bad return. Hazard. Francis tried to close that down, but Lavelle was able to thump clear. Parry brings that down in midfield. Out it goes to Fletcher, who can burst forward, but Maxwell is with her. Francis. Siddle with the initial tackle, but the ball still breaks to a Liverpool Fed shirt. Parry trying an audacious back heel there that doesn't go well, and that's a brilliant ball by Georgia Marshall. Claudia Walker now in the foot race, and the pass to Logan. Can Logan get the hat-trick? Yes, she can! Heidi Logan gives Burnley a 4-0 lead, and she's got 3 of them. The Burnley number 7 will be taking home the match ball. It's another emphatic finish, but what a lovely way to do it. Turned from defence into attack in double quick time. The ball from Marshall here is beautiful. And Walker, she could have been greedy, Claudia Walker. She could have gone on her own, but she knew that Thompson was there, so she played the pass. And Logan through the legs of Norney and into the back of the net. And we're seeing a double change after that. 1 for Liverpool Feds, 1 for Burnley. Amy Kelly is on for Maxwell, whose evening's work is over, and we've also seen Emily Cole come on. Katie Anderson withdrawn for the visitors. So 4-0. The goals continue to come for Burnley. And Heidi Logan, well, as I said earlier, she missed that hat-trick chance at the weekend, and she was making absolutely no mistake this time. 5 goals for her over the last 2 games. Hadn't scored a league goal for Burnley up until Sunday morning. Now she certainly has. There might be more to come. Here's Worsey, that just dribbles under her foot. And Walker will press Norney. Wilkes with the cushioned header down to Worsey. Logan. Worsey gets it back. Prodded into the path of Hazard. Just patiently waiting for Kelly to get to where she wanted her to be. Now here is Amy Kelly. Might go for goal herself here, Amy Kelly. Takes a deflection and dribbles wide. That could have gone anywhere. Amy Kelly, desperate to make an impact as soon as she came on. And you can't afford her that kind of space, really, to just dribble across the area. And Norney was completely wrong-footed. Wilkes will take the corner. In it goes towards Worsey. It goes over her, but falls for Walker. Loop back in and headed clear by Kinvig. And some goals elsewhere in the division, by the way. Stoke 4, Derby 1. Stourbridge still trailing West Brom 2-1. And Wolves have got a couple of goals in their game against Sporting Calza. So Wolves 2, Sporting Calza 0. After around about 70 minutes in that game. Worsey will take the corner. It's a cleverly delivered ball towards Hartley, but it's just flicked away from her. It might give the chance for the visitors to counter-attack. Only for Kelly to make a lunging tackle on Francis. Walker really pressing high there, and Norney forced to basically pass the ball out of play. She felt she'd completely run out of options there. May have been a foul throw. Play allowed to continue. Worsey's going to try and burst onto this one, but Norney's off her line to deny her the chance of a first Burnley goal. Here's Cole. Haven't seen too much of her since she came on, and she's been bundled over there by Wilkes. And, well, free kick not given, and Wilkes takes the throw quickly. And Walker is keeping that in play, and Thompson had completely stopped there, and Burnley make it 5. Well, the Liverpool Feds team waited for the whistle. There wasn't one, and Claudia Walker certainly wasn't waiting. And she cut back in and drills home a 7th league goal of the campaign. And she has now scored in 5 successive league matches as Claudia Walker. And Burnley, well, it's another 5-star performance. They just stop here, don't they? That gets flicked up. I think Thompson assumes it's going to run out of play because she turns her back on it and goes back to the referee to complain about the throw being given. Walker, as all good strikers do, played to the whistle. And so Burnley, 25 goals they've now got over their last 3 games in 71 minutes. That goal difference taking another huge boost this evening. Hartley pushing high, but still a chance for the ball to be spread to Cole. Wilkes is there to make the interception though, and Logan plays a dinked pass into Worsey. Worsey releases Walker. Walker is through, but coming across and making an important interception is Johnson. We're going to see another change now, and Jade Richards is coming on. Naomi Hartley is withdrawn. So a change at centre half made by the Clarets as their club captain enters the fray. Another excellent night's work for Naomi Hartley, who's rarely looked troubled in the heart of that defence. Just a stoppage here while Walker ties her lace in the centre, but we're now going to be able to get back underway. Wilkes and Hazard exchanging passes before Wilkes flicks it off Cole and out for another throw. Smashed forward as Liverpool Feds win the ball back, but only to McPartland, who is going to get it again here. Prodded to Walker. Walker with the strike! And that whipped just around the post from Claudia Walker, who certainly knows where the back of the net is. And we're going to see another change here, and it's going to be a Burnley debut for one of the new signings from Cliftonville. There were those collection of 4 signings made in the final week of the transfer window, and it is Louise McDaniel who comes on. Amelia Hazard withdrawn, but a Clarets debut, and she'll be hoping that it's one to remember. Certainly the scoreline suggests it is at the moment. Marshall, Lavelle. Siddall does well to keep that in there. Odds were stacked against her, and she's somehow come away with the ball again before the foul is committed by Francis. Big shout there from Rebecca Seviuk, who seems to be suggesting that that perhaps should have resulted in a yellow card for an accumulation of fouls. That ball has slipped through to Logan, who's into the middle and looking for a fourth. Norney saves. It's going to fall for Worsey, and it's blocked away. Terrific defending in the end from Liverpool Feds, but only after that missed interception by Kimvig. Logan, who's been clinical all evening, hitting the target again. It's just punched straight through to Worsley, isn't it? And the block there means that they have a corner instead of a sixth, Burnley.
That's fine. 4-2.
But Wilkes will take that corner, and it's a looped one to Marshall. And it's cleared just about to McPartland, who sends it back in. Nearly falls for Walker before Fletcher sticks a leg in and thumps away. Siddall takes. Walker brings it down. Kelly now clipped into the middle dangerously. Only as far as McPartland, who shoots. And that one goes over the bar from Brenna McPartland, who can't repeat the heroics of her goal in the corresponding fixture at Jericho Lane in September. She has got 6 of them in the league. It's been a pretty impressive return. "14 minutes to go then." Damage limitation, you would suggest, for Liverpool Feds. Burnley looking to inflict more of it as McPartland's pass only finds Parry, and she spreads the play nicely to Fletcher. Fletcher, one of the shining lights from an attacking point of view this season for Liverpool Feds. 3 goals, 6 assists for her in the league. Hasn't really offered much in the final third tonight though, and obviously been employed as a left back for most of this half. Francis dispossessed, and she's furious over on the far side at the lack of movement for her. Walker now can break forward, and she's going to try and pick out Logan again, but Thompson was well positioned to block the pass. We've already seen that axis deliver results tonight. Walker providing the assist for Logan's third. Jade Richards with a huge shout to win that header. Basically defying McPartland to get in the way of it. Siddall. Walker goes to ground, and Walker's going to get a free kick here. Thompson adjudged to have committed the foul. Liverpool Feds certainly aren't happy with that. And you might be picking up some of the comments from the Liverpool Feds players as they voice their thoughts on that decision and others that they feel have gone against them tonight. Siddall will take the free kick though, and she goes to Tilly Wilkes. Wilkes down the line for Logan. Logan whipped in towards the back post. Marshall's there, but she's not quite big enough to get on the end of it. Norney just having to retrieve that ball, and not in a great rush to do so. Must say, surprised that we haven't seen Courtney Willis come off the bench for Liverpool Feds. She's their top scorer this season, 6 goals to her name. And those of you who know your Burnley women history will remember that she was the first Burnley player to score at Turf Moor as well, when these two teams met a couple of years ago. Lavelle's ball finds Worsley, and she can spread it to Kelly. Kelly with the first time cross, too much on that. Logan will be able to keep it in though. Shows a turn of foot to be able to get there ahead of Kinvig. Back into the middle towards Worsley, but Norney well positioned at her front post to stop it. Parry closed down by McDaniel. It's a thumping pass that I'm not entirely sure Emma Johnson was expecting. Did well to control it in the end, but couldn't find a teammate with the pass. Wordsey with the strike from distance, which clatters into Mia Parry. Now Cole can only dribble it out of play. 10 to go plus added time then. Burnley have added a further 2 goals to their tally in this second half. As McDaniel presses Cole and she offloads to Fletcher, and that strike goes miles wide. Kirsty Lavelle in no rush to take this. As Burnley eke out the seconds towards another clean sheet and another thumping victory. Siddall cutting in field and finding Walker. Walker with the pass down the line, which is asking a lot of Amy Kelly. No one able to trot across and get that. Remember, Burnley are back in action here on Sunday. We would love you to join us if you can. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff against Stoke City ladies. It's going to be another huge match in that context, because every game is important, every victory is vital as Burnley try and claim promotion. Burnley looking for retribution, having lost to Stoke City women at Turf Moor in the League Cup in December. So 2 o'clock kickoff for that one, and we will of course provide you live coverage with it through the usual streaming platforms as well. Here's Cole. Cole trying to step around Richards, but that's not an easy thing to do. Jade Richards using her body well to win back possession and then win a goal kick for her side as well. Just have another glance at the scores from elsewhere in the division. Remember, Nottingham Forest don't play until tomorrow. Elsewhere, Stoke City are 4-1 up. Millie Ravening has got herself a goal in that one. Stourbridge 1, Wolves 2. Hull 2. Or West Brom even. And Wolves 3, Sporting Cals 0. Charlotte Greengrass, top scorer in the division, has got another goal there. It does look increasingly like the league is going to be decided by the games played between Wolves, Nottingham Forest and Burnley. Burnley still have to play both of them. There's an away game against Wolves on the horizon next month, which is particularly intriguing. 30th of March, that one. I feel it will be pivotal in the title race as Siddall is wrestled to the ground. Nottingham Forest away to come at some point as well. Or at home, I should say. Ninth of March, that one. So a big month coming up next month for Burnley in this title quest. Boydell prodding that down the line, but Emma Siddall will be the recipient of it. Here's Lavelle. Richards. McDaniel. McPartland. Siddall. Good ball to Worsey, who cushions it back to McDaniel. I think that came off the Burnley player last. Indeed it did. Kimbick goes down the line with it, but flicked up in the air by Logan. Daniel winning that header. So Liverpool Feds just creeping down the touchline here. And make up another few yards as well. Richards this time on the end of Kimbick's throw. Clock continuing to run down though, just the 4 minutes left. Logan wins it back. McDaniel with a clever flick for Heidi Logan, and look at the pace here as she charges forward and plays the early pass towards Walker. Johnson comes across and does really well there, Emma Johnson, and was surely fouled. Referee saying no and just giving the throw in the end. But excellent covering defending there by the Liverpool Feds number 18. The result is another throw for Kimbick to take down the line. Flicked on by Deering, but Burnley quickly winning the turnover. McDaniel prodded towards Logan, who again is going to have the pace to keep that in. Infield to Worsey, who's completely unmarked. Worsey with the strike from distance. And Norney with a fairly comfortable save in the end. Just wondered if it had opened up to make the pass to Amy Kelly on the right. Worsey eyeing a first Burnley goal. Which might still come in this game as Parry comes away with that from McDaniel. Down the line from McPartland. Good ball from McPartland over to Emma Siddall. It just feels like Burnley aren't done yet. Kelly gets around one tackle. Amy Kelly pulled back to McDaniel with the strike, and that takes a flick on its way out for a corner. They may be 5-0 up, but they've certainly not settled for it. Lovely play here by Kelly to go around the outside of Fletcher. That low ball in towards the penalty spot. A bit further back, in fact. McDaniel, though, couldn't hit the target. Did take a flick, though, so Worsey has a corner to take. And Burnley have sent 5 or 6 forward for it. They'll go to the edge of the area to Emma Siddall. Back to Worsey. Changes the angle, pulls it back to Richards. She scored on Sunday, didn't she? Jade Richards, she got her first league goal for the club. Nearly doubled her tally there, just the wrong side of the post on this occasion.
Burnley, we go 30 seconds. 30
Marshall cuts out Kimbick's clearance forward. Siddall now towards Walker, who was surely offside, and indeed the flag does go up on the far side. Donahue pressed by McPartland. Here's Thompson. Parry closed down by Wilkes and Logan. Thompson comes away with it, flicked down the line. Richards is in between the ball and Cole, though. Partland. Logan can bring that down and flick it towards Walker. Didn't quite have the accuracy on the pass. Nice ball around the corner by Parry. Now Cole and Donahue. Well, her first touch just let her down a touch there. Allows the defenders the chance to get back. And the pass came too late as well. Donahue's won it back. Donahue will strike from distance, and that's taken a deflection. And it will be a corner. So we enter injury time in this game. Decent strike from Donahue. And here is the corner. Sent in under Lavelle's crossbar, and she does well to punch that clear. It's going to fall for Donahue to hammer goalwards, blocked away. And then Walker completing a dribbled clearance before Logan sent it out towards Kelly, but Parry is covering. And then the fall from Johnson. Parry keeps it in. Back to Parry. Donahue couldn't find Francis. Siddle now breaking across the halfway line. Laid off to her by Walker, who's just peeled out to the right with Kelly in a more central position. Daniel back to Siddle. Walker. Lovely turn. She's turning Fletcher all over the place there, and she's into the box now. Claudia Walker back to Logan. Logan goes around Kinvig and strikes, and Norney saves. She was after a fourth there, wasn't she? And the corner's taken quickly as well to Luan Wurzy. Back to Wilkes. Past one tackle. Good reverse ball down to Wurzy, who's got plenty of space to pick out the cross here. To the back post it goes! And Georgia Marshall is absolutely fuming with herself at not getting that on target. The goal was absolutely gaping for the Burnley centre half, but she couldn't keep her header down. Terrific chance though. Here's the Logan one. Pushed around the post. Norney will take, and there can't be long left in this one now. A good touch from McPartland. Although the pass in the end was heavy. And Norney running the clock down from 5-0 down. Smashed over the halfway line. Parry brings it down. Good turn from Deering. Boydell playing it towards Francis, but Tilly Wilkes can marshal that out for a corner in the end. She just got a little nudge in the back there, and that meant she touched the ball out of play. Boydell, the former Burnley player, will take that corner. Into the middle it goes, flicked away, but only as far as Donahue. Donahue will strike, and Lavelle, well, juggled a little bit, but saved at the second instance, or claimed at the second instance. Kirsty Lavelle. The rain is falling here, so it will be a slippy ball right now. Donahue. Lavelle will thump forward, and the full-time whistle will go. And it is another comprehensive An impressive night's work for Burnley women. A 5-0 thumping victory recorded to maintain their recent winning run. It is now 9 successive victories in the league for the Clarets. We'll be hoping to take that into double figures when they take on Stoke on Sunday. All started in the first half by Laura Elford, and then Heidi Logan took over. The second, third and fourth scored by the Clarets number 7. Claudia Walker adding a 5th in the second half as well. Tonight that they'll be very pleased with. Liverpool Feds are not an easy opposition to play, but it's job done. And on to Sunday. So thank you very much for joining us. As I say, we will be back with live coverage on Sunday. Tune in for that one, 2 o'clock kickoff against Stoke if you can't make it down here. But I'll leave you with highlights of another 5-star Burnley performance. Burnley women 5, Liverpool Feds 0.
Thanks, Jesse. I'll speak to you again soon. Safe travels. Okay. Yeah, like I'd stop packing comms away. Start to rant. We lost the ceremonic nearly again. I think it's on this goal. That's what it is.